What's up y'all, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Amit and today I'm going to show you what's possible with Kimi K2. It is a DeepSeek competitor from China, so just be forewarned that if you want to use an email to sign up, which you probably will need to, just use a burner email. I use my burner Gmail email because it's from China, so I don't know what I can trust. But with that, let's get started. Now before we begin, I came across this article on Kimi K2 Open Agentic Intelligence. There's a bunch of benchmarks here that you can look at and how it is performing close to Anthropic Claude levels. So that's pretty impressive, and it's also beating some of these tools on the benchmark. Now here are some cool use cases. There's an example on their side. So this first example is using the salary data, test the effective of remote work ratio on salary and determine whether this effect differs significantly across experience levels, blah, blah, blah. Support your analysis with statistical evidence and rich visualizations. So that's the key in this prompt, rich visualization. Use a consistent, harmonious color palette across all plots. So it understood that task, and you can see it's going and doing its thing using some Python code. And then after it did the analysis, follow-up prompt was please create a web page using HTML to show the statistical process and conclusions using an attractive color scheme. Embed all previously generated images. Additionally, include a simulator where I can enter my personal details to get a recommendation on whether I should choose remote work. So again, it did all of that. So the result of that was this website, beautifully created, muted pastel colors, and it has all the data and visualization directly from the salary report to help this person make a decision whether they should be doing remote work or not. Super cool. Next one is to create a visualization website for standard NLP lab academic genealogy. And then there was this huge prompt here, right? And based off that prompt, it did the work. And then finally, the output of the result is this beautiful looking NLP website. Now, I haven't built a website yet, but we're going to do that live to see if we can create something similar. So this is the result of the website. You can see it's very well done. And I mean, I would have to pay someone money to build something like this or use a vibe coding tool like Lovable. Next, it has the example chat that this person needs to attend the Coldplay concert happening in London, or they will be departing from London. Find the most suitable concert. So the agent knows departing from London, suitable being closest to them. And then the agent goes on and creates this whole itinerary, and the result was this website. Again, we can take a look at it. Coldplay World Tour, and you can see it did the whole itinerary, when it's happening, how much it's going to cost, etc., etc. The airplanes, flight details, everything, interactive map for the route. Super cool, right? And now you can share it with your buddies. So those are some of the examples, and then it can also create games. So here's an example of a JavaScript Minecraft game, and you can see I can actually go into the game, start playing it. Super cool. Second one was this pre-post norm analysis. Again, I have no clue what this is, but super cool that it's building all this stuff on the fly. So with that, let's jump in and show you some of the prompts that I've been giving it and the results. All right, so first I started with a simple one. Based on the transcript below, create a YouTube title and description for me. This is from my latest YouTube video, and I will link that so you can check it out. But the video was about how I did an in-person ChatGPT workshop and made $2,600 while doing it. So the title is how I turned ChatGPT into a $2,600 one-day workshop, full breakdown plus profit numbers. I love that. Then it did the description, timestamps, and then again, I don't know how accurate those timestamps are because I did not feed it a script with timestamps. And then my tech stack, it also called all of that out, broke it down with the revenue numbers, and then also the tools that I have mentioned in there. Super awesome. Then I asked it to provide me with some thumbnails. So it gave me 3 thumbnail ideas. I actually liked this first one so much so that I used it on my YouTube channel. So let me show you that. This was the thumbnail that I got out of the prompt, and what I did is I took that prompt and ran it through Whisk, and this was the first result that I got from that first image prompt. So I really liked it, and I've updated my YouTube video to reflect that. Then I asked it to give me tags for my YouTube videos, and I got the comma separated tags, which was perfect. And then an email to my audience, which was a pretty well written, decent email for my first shot without any explicit details in my prompt. My prompt can be a little bit more descriptive. I can ask it to use copywriting techniques, write in the style of, etc., etc. But I just want to see what kind of results can I get out of Kimi K2. With that, my next one was to give it a puzzle. So I Googled what are some benchmark testing to do with AI, and this was a puzzle that's commonly given, I guess. So I gave it the puzzle to figure out the body size of a fish based on just its head size, and it came up with the correct answer of 24 centimeters. And this came from this low quiz fish riddle right here, and you can see the answer is 24 centimeters. So it came to the correct conclusion. Then I gave it a very difficult problem, and this problem is actually used in Math Olympiad competitions. And I was able to solve that problem, and you can see the breakdown of how it's solving that problem, the step-by-step final answer. And the final answer here is 204. And if I show you where I got this problem from, the final answer is 204 minutes. So these are the problems that Math Olympiads are solving. So you looked at the puzzles, the emails, copywriting, etc. And then finally, I asked it to plan a guide trip for two to Seattle for the weekend of August 22nd, 2025. Moderate exercise, maybe some hiking, good bars and restaurants, and unique experiences. And then it asked me a bunch of follow-up questions. And then once I answered that, this thing has just gone on its own, and it's been going for like last 20 minutes. And you can see everything that it's doing. And this is the power of AI, right? It's doing all of that research that would take us so long to do, just to find the right places to go. So it visited all these websites. Then it used the browser to go to each of those places to figure out what are the right things to do based on the activities that I asked it. Then it's looking at alternate outdoor activities in Seattle, and again going through those sites. Hiking trails near Mercer Street, going through the sites. And it's just going on and on and on. And it has given me a comprehensive report of a 2-day weekend in Seattle. Now I can go through this report, download it, and just read it at my own leisure, copy it, and maybe ask it follow-up questions. But what it's also doing, and hopefully I can show this to you by the end of this video, I don't know how long this takes, but it is building an interactive report that now I can share with my buddy who's joining me on this trip, and we can look at it together and figure out what are the must see and do things for us in that one weekend in Seattle. Now, while Kimi is doing its thing, few more things to show you here. This is a very familiar layout to other chat products, the commercial ones available to us. But what I want to show you here is some of the settings. So in this chat window here, you can hit the tools, enable or disable search, and then also enable or disable extended thinking. If you want to enable extended thinking, you're going to have to go to the K1.5 model, and here you can enable extended thinking and reasoning. The research mode looks like I get 5 sessions, but I don't know if that's 5 sessions per day, per month, or what, or just maybe 5 sessions in total, but that's something I have no clue. So this one was a research for the weekend in Seattle, and that took one of those 5 credits. And then further, you can add up to 50 files of 100 MB each. That's a lot of files. So you can upload the files and then start interacting with that data. You can also have common phrases. So if I go to a new chat here, I have a common phrase here called meetings or minutes, and what this does is automatically converts my meeting notes into minutes. So this was just a common phrase that I had created. If you want to create your own common phrases, you can go into settings, and then within settings you will see the common phrases. And here you can add a new common phrase, give it the prompt. Once you've given it the prompt, give it the custom phrase, and then with that, you'll be able to save it. And then you can reference it whenever you want. Super handy if you have a prompt that you use over and over again. So in my last video, I talked about reusing my YouTube prompts for my YouTube video journey from creation to publication. If you haven't seen that video, I will link to that video. Definitely check it out. And this would be something that's very useful for one of of those use case. And then up top here, you have your new chat. You can open and close your sidebar. And then you can also go back down here to go to your settings. So pretty simple on the front end, right? The UI is very simple on the front end, something we are really used to with ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, etc. Now let's go back and see if our website is ready for preview. All right, looks like our website is ready for preview. This is super cool, and no matter which AI tool you're using, right? If these are some of the things that are available to you, take that and use it to your advantage so you're not sitting there Googling a bunch of links and then trying to figure it out. So I've opened it in a new tab, and this is what my itinerary looks like. It's created a mini web page for me. On the left, I have my navigation here. So Friday, I'm arriving and I can go straight to Friday and see what to do. But up top here, it has kind of called it out. Seattle guys weekend. Here are some of the quick highlights of what I can do. Then I have my overview, some moderate exercise, nightlife, and then cultural immersion. And then also given me accommodations on where to stay. And it has these links here, which have numbers, but I don't know what that numbers correspond to. For example, that one was number 29 and it opens up this kayak link. So I'm not sure what those numbers correspond to, but they correspond to a link. And then further down, I can see, okay, coming in on Friday, I can go to the 5 Point Cafe. It's a 24-hour diner and dive bar. Love it. I want to check out dive bars. This is Seattle's oldest drinking spot, known for its no-frill atmosphere, American fare, and strong drinks. Count me down for a strong drink. Alternative evening movies at the Mural, Wicked movie screening. So I can say yay or nay to that. And then further down, I can see what's happening on Saturday. Some lunch options here. Afternoon, Pike's Place Market or Seattle Center for some more food. And then fine dining at night. And then also some clubs over here. This sounds really interesting. Bathtub and Gin Company featuring an actual bathtub in there. And then it's also given it some tags. No reservations, intimate, pop culture, 18 plus, walking distance. This is the Star Wars burlesque show. Sounds really interesting. And then Sunday, cultural experience and departure. And then also it's broken down some bars with dive bars and cocktail bars and speak easies. And then also additional unique experiences. So this is a solid itinerary. And for a 2.5 to 3 day weekend, I think this is great. I don't need to do anything else. And there you have it. That is how you can use Kimi K2. Again, use it at your own risk. That's why I have not used my real Gmail address. I've used a burner Gmail address. Trust it if you like. It's an open source model, so similar to DeepSeek. I don't see why you shouldn't trust it, but also be cautious. With that, don't forget to smash that subscribe button so you get notified next time I release a video, and until next time, keep creating.